Hi, my name's Nikita. I work on the admin team at ARGC. I was donor conceived to a single mom using a sperm donor, and today I'm here to go through a few options of children's books as ways to tell your children that they're donor conceived. So we're going to start off with some books that are about different types of families named Our Story. And you have a same-sex couple, so two males, a single mom and a same-sex couple, two females. So what I like about these books are that with the same-sex couples, it gives them two different titles. So for this one, it says, "Before I was born, Daddy and Papa loved each other very much." And in the two women couples, Mummy and Mama. So it's nice to have that difference between the two parents while both having the same role as the parents. It has a nice diagram here. The recipe for a baby is a nice warm tummy and uterus, an egg and a seed for the sperm. A simplistic breakdown for your child to understand. It says there are women who give some of their eggs to help other people make a baby. They're called donors. So I like that it does mention the donor, that they are an element in helping create the family. This book also mentions surrogacy, which is a great option if you're same-sex male couple that are using an egg donor and a surrogate. And all of these books finish with a section at the back where you can add your own photo. So it's add a photo of your family here. And on this side, it says, "It is our story. Here is a picture of us together." So it's nice to have that little element where you can add your own image in the back and relate the story to your own situation. So overall, I really like the Our Story collection, which is by the Donor Conception Network. I like how there is a variety so that each story is the same, but with different pictures and kind of goes through each. So it's nice that there's an option for all three. Next up, we have Mommy, Mama and Me by Leslie Newman, which is a great choice for same-sex couples, whereas a female same-sex couple. I like how this book is quite small and simple, so it does have big illustrations, which are nice, especially if your child's quite young, so maybe 2 or 3 years old. So this one doesn't necessarily mention donor conception and the journey of having a baby, but it is more about the bond between a parent and a child, which I think is quite nice. So this is a great option for female same-sex couples. It does a great job at normalising different families and that they don't always have to be the standard male and female. So next up is Love Makes a Family by Sophie Beer, and similar to Mama, Mama and Me, it goes through what it takes to be a family and what family means. So this one doesn't mention donor conception or family dynamic, but it is more about what you do together as a family and grows those bonds together. With the illustrations, it does show different family dynamics, so a mom and a dad. In this one, it's just the mom with the child. This one, it's maybe a single dad with the 4 children. Overall, I really like this book because it is more of a general one that anyone could purchase, looking at what makes a family and the importance of love between parents and children. So next up we have The Family Book by Todd Parr. The first thing that I noticed about this book is the bright colours used, so it is one that can be quite engaging for young children. This one again is quite a generalised book, so it mentions what families are like, so they can be big or small, they can be of different ethnicities, they can live near to each other, far away, but it also does mention the differences between families in terms of conception. So it mentions having step parents, adopting children, having 2 mums or 2 dads, or a single parent. So it does touch on that element of donor conception without it being too in-depth. This is a nice general book to talk about what makes a family. I'd say it would be best for young children, as it is quite a simplistic one in terms of description and illustrations. There are also quite a big range from this author, the Mommy book and another entitled The Daddy book, so they do have quite a big range. So here we have Zach Safari by Christy Tyner. It's a story about donor-conceived kids of 2 mum families. So this is a good choice for a same-sex couple, 2 females. So for this book, it does use the element of going on a safari to explain the journey of donor conception and their path to parenthood, which I think is quite a nice touch for children to understand and put it kind of in a more fun way. So it does mention egg and sperm, but in a way that will be quite engaging for the children. So like here with the smiley faces on the sperms. And then it goes on to mention the parents going to the sperm bank. So again, it goes through that process, but in an easy way for the child to understand. What I like about this book is it has this section where it, just after it mentions the donor being used to help a family create a baby, it goes on to talk about DNA. So it says, sperm and eggs are amazing. Did you know that they carry secret instructions that tell a baby what to look like? It's true, you get half of who you are from the sperm and half from the egg. So I like that it touches on that importance of DNA and something that your children might start to think about as they get older, and that is still kind of acknowledging the donor as a part of the family, and encouraging parents to also acknowledge that certain physical characteristics might come from the donor, but about accepting that and appreciating that and making sure that the child feels that is being appreciated. So on this side here it says, for example, if the donor has brown eyes, his sperm carries instructions that might take a baby with brown eyes. So it mentions that those characteristics may be passed from the donor, not necessarily the parent. So this book is for two-mum families, so same-sex couple. It would be tailored to two-mum families just because of the illustrations in there. So next up we have Happy Together, an egg donation story by Julie Marie. And so this one is for heterosexual couples that are using an egg donor. So it starts off quite early in the journey, so saying about how the mommy and daddy met and fell in love and how much they really wanted to have a child. And then it goes on to mention seeing the doctor and kind of the recommendations that were made. And it says, it was then we asked for the help of a very special lady. So that is when it introduces the egg donor. And then it goes through the process of how the donor's egg was put with the daddy's seed. So overall, this book is a great choice for a heterosexual couple using egg donor. And it covers it in quite a lot of detail, and it's nice illustrations using the teddy bears, which I think is quite nice for children to understand. So next up we have Daddy Was Mommy's Tummy Big by Carolina Nadell. And this one is for heterosexual couple using a sperm donor. So this one is quite simplistic in its style, so it is one I would recommend for fairly young children. It uses a family of elephants to demonstrate the family, so the mum, dad and the child. And so this story is told quite simply, so each page has just a sentence or two on them, so it is quite a nice one for the child to be able to understand quite easily. So again, this book touches on the difficulty that the parents went through, so it says how much the parents wanted the baby, and then it touches on the element of sperm donation. So it says that the sperm was found. I quite like this image of the sperms in the baby elephants. So overall, this book is a great choice for heterosexual couples using sperm donation. There are also other ranges to this book. So there's one that is entitled Mommy Was Your Tummy Big, without the use of daddy. So it is also available for single parents using sperm donation. Finally, we have Inheritance, a memoir of genealogy, paternity and love by Dani Shapiro, which is a book choice for adult donor-conceived people. So this is a good choice for donor-conceived people to read as they're older, perhaps. So the author of this book, Dani Shapiro, is donor-conceived, and this story starts with her speaking about her family. So she has a mum and a dad. She was a late discovery donor-conceived person, so she found out much later in life that her parents used donor sperm to conceive her. It does go through her journey of trying to find the donor. So eventually in this book, the author does find her sperm donor, and it goes through her emotions and the whole discovery process. So she does eventually find the donor, and first she has quite a negative response back, but it does then end on a more positive note. So he writes to her again and has a change of heart and does actually want to get to know her. So I hope this video has helped anyone who is looking to tell their child that they're donor conceived, or perhaps donors, if you're looking at emotions that donor conceived children might be feeling, and also for the donor conceived children to understand how they came to be. So all of these books mentioned touch on different families, so for single parents, same-sex couples, heterosexual couples, and I hope it is a good choice for you to go to and have a read through. Bye, thank you for watching.